Let's look at the TI-83 graphing calculator. First off, you'll notice that some of these have a yellow key and a green key and blue keys. We're not going to worry about the blue keys as far as the apps goes, but we will look at these. These are the same functions that you'll see on any standard calculator. And the way this calculator works, for example, first off you need to know how to turn it on. On turns the calculator on. Now if you want to turn the calculator off, notice that the off above the on is yellow. The calculator is color coded. So if you hit the second button first and then on, it will turn it off. So on is on and then second on is off. Notice some other features. We have divide, times, subtract, plus. Now this is a negative sign. So make sure you use that for negative and use this for subtraction. Now the enter key is the same as the equals. So if you want to do like 3 plus 4, you'll type in 3 plus 4. Then you'll hit enter. That gives you the answer. Now if you want to clear that out, you can by hitting the word clear. So if you want to do like 6 minus 8, you get a negative 2. Now notice something. Notice that the negative symbol is a little bit higher and smaller than the subtraction symbol. So keep that in mind. So if you want to type in like negative 2 plus 7, make sure you hit that negative and then the 2. Let's just do minus 7 so you can see something. Notice the size of this negative and the size of the subtraction. That's a big deal. You may get some kind of error if you don't use the correct function or correct symbol for what you need to do. Now let's say that, for example, that you wanted to type in something like 4 plus 6 minus 8 and then times 9. I'm going to use parentheses for that. Now notice something also, that I haven't cleared off anything. I can keep these up here if I want, or I can clear them out if I want to. So I'm going to clear them out. Now I'm going to type this in. 4 plus 6 minus 8, and I can use the parentheses, which that one's above the 8, and then I'm going to hit the 9, then the one above the 9 is a close parentheses, then hit enter. And it's going to do the order of operations. It does the calculator does exactly what you tell it to. So when I hit enter, it gives me the answer. Now let's say that I didn't want that 9 to be a positive. I want it to be a negative. Now I can't go back up there and retype it. So what I'm going to do is I can hit second enter. What it does is it brings it up what I just typed in, and then I can move it over. And I can do one of two things. I can type over that if I want to, negative 9. Or I could have done this. I could have just hit the delete and then typed in negative 9. Or I could have done this. Above the delete key is INS, that's insert, which is yellow. So if I hit second delete, I can then type in that negative sign, then hit enter. I don't have to go to the end to hit enter. I can just hit enter anytime I want to, and it gives me the answer. Now some other keys that you may want to pay attention to. You'll notice this caret key. That's an exponent key. And if you look over here, x squared, that's your square key. So if I want to do 4 squared, there's two ways I can type it in. I can hit the 4 and then the x squared key, and you'll see the little exponent. Enter. Now I can also use 4 and then the caret key and then the 2, which will also give me 16. So there's all kinds of features here that you want to just play around with. If there's something that you're looking for and you can't find it, above the 0 key is a catalog, which is yellow. So if you hit the second catalog key, you'll be able to find pretty much anything that you want on this calculator. Now, say I wanted to find sin, S-I-N. Now I could scroll all the way down by hitting the down arrow key until I get to the S's. Or if you look up here in the upper right corner of the screen, you'll see a capital A. What that means is that's the same as the alpha. Alpha is already locked on when you see that. And that's for these green keys, for the letters. So instead of me scrolling all the way down, using my down arrow key, I can actually go look for the S, which is above LN. Just hit that, and you'll notice that it goes to the S's. See that? without having me scroll down all the way through the letters. I can just move around, go back up to the D's if I want to, but just click on the D. So that's something you may want to play around with. Now, if I want to get off this screen, the easiest way to do it is hit this quit button. Quit is above mode, so if I hit second mode, it takes me back to the screen that I was working on. And once again, if I want to clear it out, I can. Now let's say I didn't want to clear it out. I want to get back to something I had typed earlier. So if I hit second enter a few times, well, I hit the wrong button. If you can tell me hit the wrong button, just hit second quit. I'm hitting second enter. And if you notice, it's bringing back up some of the things that I've typed in previously. I'm not sure how far back it goes, but it goes back pretty far. So, this is a handy little feature that you can use. Let's say I do 3 plus 4 equals 7. I want to add like a 6 to it. So if I hit the plus 6, now that ANS is the previous answer that I received from the previous problem. So my previous problem was 3 plus 4 equals 7. That 7 is now seen as that ANS. So now this is going to be 7 plus 6, which is 13. And that's all that ANS means. So it can be a really handy feature. I'm going to make a few more videos. I'm just showing you some of the basic ideas of how this works. For right now, the last thing I want to leave you with is that this up and down arrow, if you'll notice there's some images in between them. What that means is if you hit the second key and then hold down the up arrow, it's going to make your screen darker. If you hit the second and hold down the down arrow key, it's going to make it lighter. And so, it's not going to do it on this calculator, but it will on yours. So that's something that you may want to play around with. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask your instructor or look at your manual.